Hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and I hope you have absolutely fabulous day. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create personalized decorative stepper card. If you like it, I really hope you'll feel inspired and craft along with me. For today's card, I'm going to use cutting dies from Tattered Lace called Decorative Stepper Cards. I got this set at Alipali during Crafterama, and if you haven't seen that whole video, the link is at the top right corner. I'm going to use the biggest cutting die here, and I'm going to create a base. So I'm going to use 300 GSM white multi-purpose card from Crafter's Companion, and I do encourage you to use heavyweight card for your card bases. It really makes a difference because we want the card bases to be very strong and sturdy. Now I'm going to put it through my die cutting machine, and when this is ready, I'm going to start decorating the panel, but first you have to fold and burnish all those lines that we created with the cutting die. But don't worry if you don't have this cutting die set. I created a video with 3 different stepper cards for Christmas, so you can watch that video. It is at the top right corner, and you can create your stepper cards with no cutting dice. So please check it out if you've never ever created a stepper card. Now it is time to think how we can decorate the card. So I'm going to use the beautiful collection from Relatively Thoughtful called Independent Women. I really like this collection because it has my favorite color combinations with some purples and greens. And when I saw this collection, I was actually inspired by some of the flowers here to create this card, and I'm going to show you them later on because there are so many elements to fussy cut and they are simply gorgeous. The collection also has some amazing photographs of independent women. So as you can see, these flowers are simply gorgeous and I couldn't resist. I had to use those pinks here because the person whose this card is for has a massive garden with lots of beautiful flowers. So I thought, why not? Let's create something with the flowers. For my panel, I'm going to use that purple design paper, but first I'm going to measure my card base. And this is crucial because if you don't have a cutting die set with all the nesting dies in it, you can create your panels yourself. So first I'm going to trim off the white excess here, and then I'm going to cut the square for the front panel, and I'm going to show you how to create those side panels here. So you don't really need any cutting dies. All you have to do is to use your trimmer. So again, I'm using my ruler to measure the sides and how big they need to be. So with this trimmer, I can move the blade where I want, and I've got some measurement not only on the side but also where the blade is. And this is so helpful whenever you create those kind of panels. So now when this is ready, I'm going to add a little bit more interest to this panel because I thought let's give it a little bit more vintage look. And to do it, I'm going to use my scissors and distress the edges. And I do encourage you to do exactly the same. I really think it makes a massive difference, especially for personalized cards. And when this is ready, I'm going to use my one and only liquid glue, magic glue, to assemble those two panels together. And at this point, I thought I really like it, but the purple in the middle, I think is not enough. So what can I do to make it even more special? So as you can see, I'm using my one and only liquid glue, magic glue, and I'm going to assemble those here. Super quick and easy. And with liquid glue, you do have time to maneuver the elements. So I do encourage you to use that one as well. And actually, in Relatively Thoughtful shop, you can get that magic glue if you're interested. So now, we have to add those details. So I've got 2 panels from 300 GSM wide multi-purpose card. As you can see, one is shorter and wider and one is taller but also narrower. And I'm going to use embossing folder. This one is pretty old from Crafter's Companion, and I'm going to add that texture because I really wanted that wood effect here because I'm going to create plant pots. So I thought, why not? Let's add that texture. And when this is ready, Oh, first I need to get rid of some of the elements here that I didn't get rid of earlier. But you can use your pokey tool and no one will ever know. As you can see, this base is very beautiful as it is. But let's add a little bit more interest. So I'm going to use my Distress Oxide in Wilted Violet color. If you're interested in any of the products I use in today's video, you can check the description down below where I left some links. I couldn't find that stepper card base or cutting die from Tattered Lace on Amazon, but when I look at the Tattered Lace website, it said it was very special for subscription 2020-2021. So, when my panels are ready, it's time to actually score them. So I've got my scoring board from Crafter's Companion, and if you don't have your scoring board, I think this one is the best in the world, because you can create boxes with it as well. So as you can see, I'm scoring half and then 1 centimeter on each side, because I really want that dimension. And what will be really good about this card, it will fold flat, and that's exactly what I wanted for this project. So when these panels will be ready, it will be time to add even more interest and dimension. And to do it, I'm going to apply a little bit of Distress Oxide Ink, and I've got tea dye and ground espresso. So if you have never ever used that technique with embossing folders, it really makes a difference. And if you've never ever created a card with flower pots, maybe today is the day. I really like this technique and I thought, why not? Let's give it a go, right? Flowers are always perfect for so many different occasions. And this one is a name day card because that's what we celebrate in Poland. But this is for a colleague of mine. So it is time to assemble those wooden panels here. And as you can see, they will fold flat. And that is so cool. Seriously, if you haven't tried this technique, I really hope you'll give it a go. And don't worry if you don't have this collection, you can use whatever is in your stash. And to be honest, if you've never heard about RT Create, Make and Share Facebook group, it is so cool. And I left the link in the description down below as well. So if you have any of the design papers from Relatively Thoughtful, you can put your projects there. And this group is absolutely amazing. Using gold mirror cards, and I use some cutting dies from my stash. The name of the recipient, I use Tonic Studio cutting dies, and for the name day, it is in Polish. So I'm going to adhere them here, and as you can see, I'm going to use my low tack tape because I want to make sure that the name of the recipient is on a straight line. So if you've never tried this technique, I really hope you'll give it a go. And I also wondered, what is your favorite color palette for your birthday and name day cards? If you do have your favorite, please let me know. Also, what is your preferred flower color for your card making? Because I think with pinks, you cannot go wrong. I think they're just so beautiful. But usually, I create some blue flowers. So please let me know which one is your favorite. So now I use my ScanNCut machine to cut all those elements out. As you can see, I keep them in a small bag and I always keep it with the collection. So I always have all the elements ready if I want to add them to any projects. And I do encourage you to do exactly the same. So as you can see here, I've got some beautiful pink flowers and it is time to decorate the card. And this is my totally favorite part of card making, because here you can be like a florist. You can put your flowers wherever you want and make beautiful arrangements. Have you ever tried that technique with plant pot or maybe flower jug? That would be cool as well. So if you've never seen my video with my own SVG file, how to create flower jug cards, the link is at the top right corner. So as you can see, I'm using my one and only liquid glue, magic glue, to put those flowers here. But you can always add a little bit dimension to your elements. And to do it, I'm going to use a little bit of double-sided foam adhesive. So yes, you can use that trick as well. And as you can see, some of the elements are pretty big. So what you can do is to cut them apart, and no one will ever know that you had a very big arrangement. And this is the way to go, especially for the smaller projects. It's always a good idea to use your pokey tool to peel off the backing of your foam adhesive, because sometimes it might be pretty tricky, especially if the foam adhesive is very sticky. But I do encourage you to use few drops of liquid glue here, because we want to make sure that this card will last forever, right? And I wonder, how often do you create personalized projects? If you've never created one, I do encourage you to do it, because I think for me personally, these are the best projects to create. They always put a massive smile on my face, and I think they're just so special. So, as you can see, I'm adding some elements here and there so we can actually see the dimension on the project. And if you move those flower pots here, they actually fold flat. So cool, and that will go in the flat envelope. So as you can see, I'm using my pokey tool just to help myself to adhere those elements together. So, this card was super quick to make, especially with such a beautiful collection like here, Independent Women from Relatively Thoughtful. If you do have your favorite collection from Relatively Thoughtful, please let me know in the comments which one is it. So, our card is nearly complete. As you can see, we can move that element and there will be plenty of space to write your message inside. So if you do have that cutting die from Tattered Lace, please use it. It is so much fun to work with. It is time to add some gold gems, because if you know me, I need to add them to most of my projects. So the cut is complete. So what do you think about this one? I also wanted to tell you that this week I'm planning to have couple of videos, so stay tuned for them. So the next one will be tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe Friday. Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Have a wonderful day and see you in my next video. Bye for now and happy crafting!